All right, welcome to taking action for 5 and 6. Action 5 is about questions, right? These are questions that I asked myself when I started the recruiting process, albeit a little late, but these are questions I asked myself, okay? And I want you to do the same thing, okay? This will help you identify if this university or whatever university would be a good fit for you, okay? You need to start identifying where can you see yourself playing, where could you not see yourself playing. You have to identify what you would want your major to be and see if that university offers it, right? What size school do you want to attend? Would you prefer a public university or private? Publics are going to be cheaper, especially if they're in state. So that's something you're going to have to be mindful of. What kind of GPA test score would you need to have to be accepted? And that's very important because you might have a dream school, but your GPA might not be high enough or your test scores. What about the demographics of other students at the university? How do they look like? Okay, that might determine if you get accepted or not. Do you want to live close to home or do you want to live far away? That's something you're going to have to decide. What is the graduation rate? Some schools have a really high passing rate and some have average to lower depending on the difficulty of the program. And then of course the acceptance rate. And then a big important question is how much does it cost? What does the tuition cost? Okay, those are questions you're going to have to ask yourself. Now, questions about the soccer program. This is equally as important because, again, this has to fit you. Okay? These are the same questions I asked myself. So I made sure that I knew the names of the head and assistant coaches. Make sure that you can get their email addresses. And make sure you get the physical mailing address. And this step is going to be very important. I mean, all three are critically, of course, but you're going to need a physical mailing address. And you're going to see why shortly. You need to understand what division and conference that this university plays in. I would also research how long the coach has been at that specific university, right? Has he been there for 1 year? Has he been there for 10 years? Has he been there for 20? Right? That'll help you determine, and you can kind of see maybe and develop a correlation of maybe players that he likes, the style that he likes to play. If a school's changing coaches relatively often, it's harder to get that consistency. How did they finish last season? How did they finish over the last 3 to 5 years? Right, those are things that you should have on hand and know, because that's information a coach might be interested in knowing to see if you have that information. And this is something that you need to make sure you understand is what is the average height of the players. You can look this information up by going to the university's website and going to their roster, the team's roster. And you can see, for example, their height. It'll say their graduation class. And this is important because I was actually turned away from a school because I wasn't tall enough. And it was a school I really wanted to go to. But the coach told me I'm not tall enough. Okay? You might also want to try and identify where their players from. See if you can identify a trend. A lot of schools now are recruiting international players. Right? When I played at St. Leo, we had about 7 or 8 Americans and the rest were international. So that might determine or might impact where you're able to go play. You also need to know what the average player's GPA is if you can find that information, which you should be able to on the website. And then obviously trying to identify what is the goal of the program or the coaching staff. And that's really important as well because their goal might be to win a national championship. You have to be committed to doing that if that's the school you want to go to. Action 6, identifying universities and setting up your prospective list. Okay, I'm now going to walk you through how to identify universities and how to set up your list. Okay, this is going to be a little difficult at first, but once you get it built, this will help you out tremendously. Okay, I recommend starting by creating a list of a minimum of 20 schools where you generate all that information that I just asked of you in the questions. For example, the coach's name, the email address, the address, the physical address. Okay, so check this out. Here's how you should try and break down your list. Okay, you need to create as many possibilities or opportunities as possible because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, and you need to start opening the lines of communication ASAP, and I'm going to show you how to do that very soon. But what you want to try and do is have 5 to 10 ambitious schools that are probably a little bit higher than you're ready for. So for example, if you're like a 3.7 student, you might put like James Madison University. You might put Yale, right? I'm just giving you an example. It might be out of reach, but if you work hard, you can get yourself academically ready or athletically ready. And it depends on what you're looking for. Okay? 5 to 10 secure schools that you should be easier to get into academically and athletically. That way you have a backup option, but make sure they fit your needs. Okay? And then you would make ones that are about 10 to 15 ideal schools, ones that match your needs academically and athletically. And you should have a good opportunity to get into the university. Okay? I would make sure you do a minimum of 10, as it's really important, because this list is going to change. It's going to go up and it's going to go down throughout the process, and that is okay. What I have here now is your college recruiting spreadsheet. Okay? What you need to do is click this Google link, and it's going to take you to the spreadsheet where I just kind of helped you break down all this information. Okay? And you're going to have 3 bonuses that you can check out. The first one is the college importance identifier to help you understand on a scale of 1 to 10 what you would want in a university. Bonus 2 is going to be your college comparison chart to help you pretty much compare universities. And that way you can maybe rank them, right? Which leads to bonus 3. You're going to get, in this spreadsheet, you're going to get a tab for how you can rank your top 20 schools. And you can obviously increase the list. So if you have 40 on your list, you can make it up to 40. Okay, and then you can rank them from most desirable to least desirable. So let me show you this spreadsheet. So I'm pulling it up now for you.